Hey guys, my name is Siddhansh. Welcome to the second tutorial video on Omnycomm. In this video, I will be deep diving on the user profile page. So first off, as far as the user credentials are concerned, when I say user credentials, I mean username and password. This will be sent across to you personally on your official email ID. I would request that you don't share this with anyone because you are responsible for the actions that you have on Omnicom, and you have to be accountable for that. So we share an email with you. These are the credentials will be something that you should have access to. Don't share it if you feel that you would want to give another user access to the product. Then get in touch with us directly and tell us who the person is and what sort of permissions he should have on the platform, and we'll evaluate and try to take this request forward accordingly. So let's jump right in. Your user credentials have to be added to the login screen. So in this case, I'm gonna type the ID that we have credentials for. So write down your username and you will be allotted a password. So if you by any chance get it wrong, then the system is going to tell you that, well, your credentials are wrong. So you have to get it right. And in this way, you can log in. Once you've logged in, you by default come to the products page. But in this case, we're going to be covering the user profile page. So as you can see in front of you, you have there's PNN, which basically states your first and last name. We basically create a default thumbnail on the basis of that. Soon we'll give you access to adding your own image so that you can personalize the platform a bit more from your standpoint. Your full name is here along with your number, the email address that we can send you official emails on, your designation, the different permissions that you have on the platform. So in this instance, Priyanka has she can add products, she can update products, she can add images, she can delete images, she can create exports and download those exports as well. The access to brands that she has is GPass, and then the channel permissions that she has access to is UK, UAE, eBay, known. What that basically means is that she can create products for any of these channels and then export them accordingly in the format which you can see in the permission section here. You can also edit the user by doing this. So you can change your information if you want. As far as your permissions are concerned, those things can't be changed. That is permissions that we set from the backend by discussing with your managers/administrators. But you can change your information here if you like, and then if you hit OK, then you'll see those changes reflect accordingly. Then we have the activity log. Over here, we have the list of, it's a table where we list down all the actions that you've taken on the platform so far. This is in some sense to ensure that there's accountability and transparency of one's actions. Now, rest assured that what you see here are your own actions and not anyone else's. Well, let me just take you through the table itself. So created, as in like the action was taken on this particular date. The resource basically implies the product where you've made some sort of change. It could be a product, it could be an export folder. So the resource could be an item from any of the sections based on which section you're accessing and the sort of actions you're performing there. In the action, we have a different set of actions. So we have create and update. There are it's mostly the sort of categorical variable itself where you're creating or updating something. So you will see the list of all your actions here, and then you have the sort of changes that you've made. So in order to see the change, you have to click on the view button, and then you can see the change or the name of the change that you had made, which is what is the object that was being changed. In this case, let's say this is factory notes. Now, there's an attribute in the product form page which has factory notes. That is something that the sourcing manager can add. That is why you see factory notes. And this was its old value, and the new value has been changed to, well, nothing. But and let's take the example of product name. So in product name, we've the old value was product test SM, which has been changed to product test S234. So what you need to know is that this is the attribute or the object that is being changed depending on which page you're from. So this particular attribute always is a result of the resource that you are making some sort of action on. So because we are having an action for this product, in the view section it specifies that, okay, for that particular product in this attribute, this was the old value and you've updated this to a new value, which you can see here. Let's try this for another product. Like we have the blender here. So when you click on this, um, I think this is part of the old code. That's why it's saved in this manner. I'm gonna move to another example. Let's see this. This is not the best example either. Right. I think this is a better example. So when you're looking at the changes for the product, you can see that this was the channel product. It was nothing and it was none, and then you changed it to the new value, which is product SSN. So yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. In your activity log, you can see for which resource, what was the action that you took, and what is the old value and what is the new value, and that's pretty much it. This covers the activity log section. You can see an entire list. I think we show about 20 to 25 in one shot, and if you want to load more and you want to go further down, then you can go down further and check for more actions this way. We'll also give the ability for you to download this in Excel format so that you can filter and analyze accordingly. But for the time being, it's just a simple list that you can go through. Now, the this entire activity log is part of it's a subset of the activity history. Now, activity history is something that we maintain for the organization. In our case, it'll be done by it'll be specific to teams. So for example, if I'm a sourcing manager and there is a team of sourcing executives that work with me, I will be able to monitor different users accordingly. At this point of time, it only shows Priyanka, but as there are more users who are using the product, you will be able to see who the user is, and then again, the same sort of information that we've seen in the activity log, as in what is the data it was created on, what is the resource that this particular user was working on, what is the action they took, and then you can view the changes in the action, as in what is the attribute and the old value and the new value. So in some sense, your team leader, manager, or the administrator has access to the different actions that are being performed on the activity log. Your activity history, and this is their master form, so they can they can monitor accordingly. So this is part of the accountability factor that we've taken into account, and yeah, this is something that you should know and be aware of the fact that what you're doing is something that your administrator can see. So um, that's pretty much it. This will cover the entire, I've covered in depth the section on your user profiling, the sort of activity log that you maintain, and the overall activity history that we maintain on the organization. In the next video, we will cover the product section in significant depth. Now, this is one of the major sections that we will be covering because it has a lot to do with how we create products on the platform and the sort of hierarchy of products that we maintain. And it's sensitive information that we have to ensure that we keep we keep the product information hygienic, and if the information is robust, then everybody in the organization benefits from it. So we'll be covering that in the next section. For the time being, I'm going to say adios and tune in for the next video as well.